Hello, welcome everyone. Welcome. Let me know where you are watching me from. Come on in, people. A woman like you and myself went ahead and she filed for, protection. But something happens. Before we get to what happened, she tells the court that her estranged husband has a firearm. Okay, she reports that he threatened suicide. She says he has gone on the run. Then the court does something. They grant her emergency protective order. He is ordered out of the house and told to stay at least 100 yards away from her. And now, after her passing, because she passed, after her passing, her children's father is fighting to make sure the man police says ended her and anyone inheriting through him does not receive anything from her estate. So tonight, we are talking about 43-year-old mother, hairstylist, and content creator, Sara Gilson. Now, this is not just a story about what happened inside a home. It's about what a protective order can do and what it cannot do. This life is about the danger women may face when they try to live. It's about children forced to witness the unthinkable. It's about a legal fight continuing after a woman's life has already been taken. I'm saying this because Sara was believed enough to receive a protection order. But was she protected enough to stay alive? My name is Femi and you are welcome back to Yes Life Coaching Woman Stand in Your Power.
Stand in your power. Own every minute, every hour. This is your story. Starting now. Stand in your power. Let the world see how. Stand in your power. Stand in your power now. Turn up your voice, your truth, your wow. Stand in your power. This is your channel now.
You are all very welcome back to Yes Life Coaching Woman Stand in Your Power. My name is Femi, and this is a space where we talk about the stories affecting women, but we do more than report what has happened. We ask what the story is teaching us, okay? That's the reason why we are talking on this Sara Gilson case. We decode the warning signs. We examine the systems around women, and then we identify what we can do differently in our own lives, in our own communities. So if you are watching live, tell me where you are watching me from. Okay? If you are watching the replay, type in the comment, team replay in the comment. And please do like, share, and subscribe to the channel, because the lesson we are going to be seeing, the lessons that we'll be seeing in Sara's case may help another woman, may just help another woman recognize that what she's experiencing is not ordinary relationship conflict. It may be something that could be escalating into danger. So before we begin, I want to let you know that this story involves DV, allegations involving a minor. We are going to be talking about homicide and suicide, the big S. So please protect your emotional well-being. And if you are currently in an unsafe relationship, don't reveal identifying information about your situation in this kind of public space, okay? Now, again, this report is based on police statements, court records, and reportings that are available as at August 5th, 2026. Now, the allegation involving the teenage girl was never adjudicated because Jeremiah Shawn Duffey passed before the investigation could result in a trial. So we are going to be clearly separating allegations from confirmed facts. But before we do anything, before we go any further, who was Sara Gilson? Who was this woman that we are talking about? Before we discuss how she passed, we need to talk about who she was and how she lived. Because Sara Gilson was more than the woman at the center of a murder suicide, a murder MS headline. Let me put it like that. Sarah Jane Gilson was 43 years old. She was a hairstylist. She was a content creator, a mother living in, Collinsville near Oklahoma. Okay. She was born in San Diego in November 1982. Before I even start talking about her, I want to share a little bit about her life and the things she does and what she does. So I'm going to be sharing my screen. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Okay. So I just want you to see a little bit about her so you understand who we are talking about. Okay. So this is Sarah. You can see, let me see. I hope this doesn't have, I don't know if I've added it to you. So that's Sarah. That's her. Oh, let me share this.
She took time and helped me
So that's
to figure
Sarah.
out.
She was just a normal person, loving life, living our own life, trying to enjoy life to the fullest of her capacity. That was who Sarah was. Okay, I just wanted to show you a little bit about who she was. She loved shopping, she loved clothes, and all of that. All right, that was just a little glimpse of who Sarah was. Now, let's keep going. I just wanted to show you. Oh, look, let me just continue sharing. Let me continue sharing while I speak. I just wanted to show you who she was because right now she's no more. She's no longer with us. She's gone. Okay. This woman she was a hairstylist. She was born in San Diego in November 1982. After her high school, she discovered a passion for cosmetology, and that passion eventually became part of her identity and her career. If you're watching from wherever you're watching, please go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. She married her first husband, Lyle Landers, in 2010. Okay. Together, they had 2 children. They had a daughter who is now 14 and a son who is 13. So Sarah and Lyle, they had a divorce 7 years before her passing. He said they had reached a place where they could remain friends and successfully co-parent their children. Now, according to the people who loved Sarah, she was funny, she was generous, they said she loved to make people laugh. Her best friend for more than 20 years said that on Sarah's final day. She says Sarah was happy and she was someone that likes to joke. Sometimes we assume a woman living with danger must look afraid, right? that she must look afraid every moment of the day. We imagine that she must always appear broken, withdrawn, or visibly distressed. But women continue to work. They take care of their children. They laugh with friends. They post on social media even when they are going through it. They sit alone or they sit in their salon chairs and they make other people beautiful even when they are going through it in their own lives. You see, a woman can be laughing in the morning and still be, you know, in serious danger at night. Sarah's friends and they said motherhood was her greatest accomplishment. And now those children were the center of her life, but now they are growing up without her. Okay, so that's Sarah for you. If you are watching wherever you're watching from, please do me a favor. Go ahead and like the live stream. So after she divorced, she had a divorce from Jeremiah, from her first husband. She later married Jeremiah Shawn Duffey. So by the time of her passing, reports described them as estranged. And Sarah, in one of her posts, referred to him as her soon-to-be ex-husband. Okay? Before we go ahead, and they said this one, when she took the, she got a protection order, and this was not the first time she had attempted to obtain legal protection from this man. I would want us to go ahead and watch a few videos. So apparently they said he was having some illegal whatever with a child, with a 15-year-old child. And yeah. So before we go ahead, let's just watch a few videos. She said here that where's that? I hope I'm sharing the right thing. I just hope I'm sharing the right thing. So she says in one of her videos, let's go to that video. So this is her friend Courtney. And see what she said. Preparing for when Netflix drops a documentary about my soon-to-be ex-husband, who I just found out is a P file. Like P file, PD file. Like, that is insane. That is insane. So let's just go ahead, because that's on another level. I don't even understand. I don't even know what to say to that. Court documents reviewed by a lot of journalists indicate that she filed two protective other cases in 2021. She filed one in August and she filed another one in September. And they say both cases were eventually dismissed because this woman did not appear for the required hearing. So I need everyone to listen, or everyone that is listening, I need you to understand something, because that's the reason we are here. A protective order can be dismissed because whoever raised that petition did not attend. And that does not mean that all those allegations, that the allegations she made about the man, that does not mean that those allegations were false. It only means she refused to show up. Maybe she was afraid. Sometimes women may miss hearing for some reasons that you would be shocked when you hear them. Sometimes women are afraid, so they'll be like, I'm not going. Sometimes it could be pressure. Oh, no, take the case down. you need to take this case down. Sometimes it could be financial problems. And in some other cases, it could be maybe she couldn't get there, maybe transportation, it could be childcare. Or it could also be that maybe they had already started the process of reconciliation in the house. Or maybe he was threatening her. Or maybe he was emotionally manipulating her. Or it could be that she just genuinely believed that everything will finally be okay. So we do not know exactly why this woman missed those hearings that she missed. And I don't want us to create any explanation for her because she's no longer here, but we must not use those dismissal to suggest that she fabricated the danger. Okay? Our ex-husband, Lyle, later said he had begged her for years. Can you imagine? He said he had begged her for years to leave Duffey. He described a relationship in which Sarah seemed unable to escape Duffey's control. In my opinion, I believe that is coercive control. That's how coercive control often works. Before we go ahead and do anything, let's watch a few videos, okay? Let me see. So let me just go ahead and play this first. Let's watch this. We are going to be watching a few videos, so let's go ahead and watch. The video you're about to watch is from the New York Post, and before I go there, should we watch videos yet? I think we should. Okay, before I go there, let's continue with the background that I was giving you. So, the ex-husband said that he had been begging her to leave him for years. So, like I said earlier, that's coercive control. It does not always begin with a dramatic incident that everybody will be able to recognize. It begins with isolation. It begins with monitoring. It begins with financial control, threats, emotional manipulation, and different cycles of cruelties that will then be followed by apologies. But by the time outsiders begin asking questions, oh, why didn't she just leave? The woman may already feel as if every exit has been blocked. I want to ask you as you watch, have you ever watched someone you love remain in a situation you knew was harmful for them? Type a yes. You just type yes in the comment section without sharing any private detail. The truth is that when you see your loved one in that situation, it's painful. But telling someone to leave is not the same as helping that person leave, separately, safely, sorry. So then after telling her to leave, the situation escalated sharply in this June 2026, last month. Duffey was a coach connected to a youth basketball team. And according to the police department, another coach allegedly saw him touching a 15-year-old female player inappropriately, and then he intervened. The girl's mother subsequently alleged that Duffey had kissed and touched her daughter. She also claimed that he has sent the girl inappropriate messages, invited her to a hotel room. Can you imagine? During a basketball trip, and offered her money for her to keep quiet. Okay? So police said they received the reports of all that happened. Now, this, in my opinion, are serious allegations because this man was never tried or convicted of them, so we must continue calling them allegations. Police reportedly attempted to locate Duffey after that incident, but he had left. He ran away. Okay? Now, they are saying that this case happened in India, in an Indian country, and Duffey was a member of the Osage Nation. So the case was referred to the United States Attorney's Office under federal jurisdiction. Now, this did not mean that the allegation had been dismissed. What did that mean? It meant that jurisdiction over the possible offense belonged to the federal authorities rather than the local police department. Okay? But from a safety perspective, let's look at what was happening at this moment. This man was allegedly facing exposure. He was facing the possible destruction of his reputation, and he could have potentially faced criminal consequences. His marriage was breaking down. Welcome, Ipete07. Welcome. Thank you for being here. And according to Sarah, she said he had a firearm and had threatened to end his own life and had gone on a run. So this or that is not an isolated warning sign. You see the cluster of escalating danger. Okay? Remember, Sarah had put up a protection order before. But then June 10, the same day the teenager's mother filed for protection, Sarah filed for her own emergency protection order. She said he had threatened to end his own life. He had a firearm. She said he has gone on the run after the allegations involving the child, surfaced. Now, the judge granted Sarah an emergency order. Duffey was ordered out of their residence, and he was instructed to remain at least 100 yards away from Sarah and her home. So the reports show that the court order was served to him June 16 this year. Then on June 23rd, both Sarah and this man appeared in court. They both appeared in court. Sarah represented herself, but Duffey appeared with an attorney. Now, the judge continued the emergency protection order through August 24, when the court planned to review the status of the related criminal investigation. Okay, so now let's watch. I just wanted to give you a brief lowdown on this. So let's watch this video. And this video is from the New York Post. This is what is currently, okay, this is a video from 99 days ago. I just want to bring us, up to spark. Let me share this tab instead. Let's go back. I'm sorry, guys.
After she publicly accused him of being a pedophile on her TikTok page.
An old male that we were looking for a few weeks ago.
Let me take it back.
After
Let's
he got
start all
caught
over again.
kissing a juvenile.
An Oklahoma influencer senselessly gunned down by her own husband.
I'm trying to reach him back, but I could hear a female in the background screaming and crying.
In an apparent murder-suicide.
Some sort of loud bang in the background.
Less than 2 weeks after she publicly accused him of being a pedophile on her TikTok page.
An old male that we were looking for a few weeks ago after he got caught kissing a juvenile.
Here's what we know about murdered influencer Sara Gilson and the shocking claim she made about her soon-to-be killer ex-husband, Shawn Duffey. Police raced to a home in Collinsville, Oklahoma on July 23rd after receiving a grisly nighttime phone call where 911 dispatchers said they heard a woman, quote, screaming and crying before hearing a, quote, loud bang.
I'm trying to reach him back, but I could hear a female in the background screaming and crying. Some sort of loud bang in the background.
When Owasso law enforcement arrived at the home, they discovered a sickening scene. A husband and wife were dead, both with apparent gunshot wounds to the head. The Owasso Police Department later confirmed to People magazine that the duo, 48-year-old Shawn Duffey and 43-year-old Sara Gilson, were killed in an apparent murder-suicide after Duffey gunned down Gilson before turning the weapon on himself. Gilson, a lifestyle and beauty influencer who boasts nearly 80,000 followers on TikTok, was known for her bikini try-on hauls and shopping hacks. She even posted videos with her hubby, like Duffey modeling a handful of outfits, showing off a mini camcorder.
I'm recording myself recording you.
That's epic.
And reviewing a traveling duffel bag.
You had a basketball tournament this weekend, and you got to take your new bag.
And I love it.
One video on Instagram from January 2025 even shows Duffey snuggling with the couple's pooch in bed.
She loves her daddy.
But despite a seemingly happy-go-lucky marriage on social media, it appears the couple's union was deeply on the rocks, especially after Gilson posted a very different kind of video about her husband in July. In one of the
It's just crazy. It's just crazy, guys. Like, how can people just go from all the lovey-dovey to this? It's crazy. I don't even know what to say. It is very crazy. Let's go to Law and Crime and watch what
They were once, it
they're talking
seems,
about
a
there.
power couple, married
This is Law and
TikTok
Crime.
stars.
All right, here's the truth. I don't think you're ready for it.
But according to court records, she was afraid for her life. And weeks after a wife posted this video accusing her husband of being a pedophile, a chilling call. And she was also a mom to 2 kids, 15 million views, child, and the child's home at all times. Sarah posted on June 20th this video here of the ocean with the words on it that says, quote, "and he sure did." Now, the caption to that post was longer, and this is what it said, quote, "Thank you for the Army. Your thoughts, prayers, and gift cards have meant more than you know. While I'm grieving and trying to process the worst thing imaginable, I'm solely focused on my children and their well-being. Their safety and mental health is my only concern at this time. We are not okay, and I'm not sure I'll ever be the same, but God has been so faithful in this process, and I feel his presence in everything I do. Let's all remember to pray for the victim and respect her privacy." So
you can just imagine. You as married to this man. I mean, with all of his imperfections. You discover there is a PDF file. Like, how it make it make sense? It doesn't even make sense. So maybe this is after finding out everything. She says everyone talks about romantic love, but no one talks about how female friendship literally saves your life. So she has support. She has her friend by her side while she's going through the whole mess. Okay? And here she says, may whatever the F that was never find me again. May whatever the F that was never find me again. That means she's already off the relationship. She's at a point where she's saying, hey, I regret ever meeting this person. I don't ever want to meet someone like this again. I don't ever want to be in this situation again. This is after, a failed marriage, a first failed marriage. Now this is a second one. All right. It's rather sad. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. Okay. So, it's, in my opinion, she was believed. Because if she was not believed, the judge wouldn't have granted her the, what do they call it? The protection order. The judge wouldn't have granted her the protection order if she was not believed. So she was believed, and that was why she was granted that protection order. However, did that protection order help her? Duffey was served the order as he should have been served. The order was continued after a hearing. Sarah was believed on paper, but the belief on paper did not create safety in the physical world. The belief on paper did not create safety in the physical world. In other words, a protection or a protective order is a legal boundary, as we know, but it is not a locked door. It is not a security guard. A protection order cannot physically remove a firearm. It cannot guarantee that someone who is prepared to violate the law will suddenly begin to obey it. A protection order cannot replace a detailed, coordinated safety plan. It cannot. This woman took to TikTok July 11 using a popular documentary trend where she said she described herself as preparing for the day Netflix will release about her soon-to-be ex-husband, whom she publicly called a PDF. She added that she wished that she was joking, and that video spread like wildfire. But 12 days later, she was gone, 6 feet under. Was it the TikTok trend that caused her passing? No. We can't tell. But we cannot also blame Sarah for exposing what she believed had happened. This man was a PDF. The only person responsible for taking Sarah is the person who took her, who ended her. You see, this just tells me that public exposure can increase danger when an abusive or controlling person believes that they are losing control. This man was losing control of the relationship. He was losing control of his reputation. He was losing control of his future because they were looking for him. This is why disclosure must sometimes be accompanied by intensified safety planning. She went and disclosed on TikTok that the man is a PDF. He came back and he ended her. I'm not saying that women should remain silent, but we must understand the danger that can follow when a violent person realizes that his secrecy is ending. So because she opened up about what was going on at approximately 11:15 p.m. on July 23rd, emergency dispatch reportedly received a call from this woman's residence. And the report indicates that a woman could be heard screaming or pleading. Then there was a sound believed to be a pwa shot. And then her son subsequently reached a neighbor's home and reported that his stepfather had pwa'd his mother. What a traumatic experience for that child. Imagine running from your home. Imagine having to find an adult. Imagine having to explain to someone that your mother had been pwa'd at 13. When officers arrived, what did they see? They saw Sarah and Duffey gone from pwa'd wounds. So they concluded that he ended her and then he ended herself. Some reports say that he broke into the home. However, the publicly available police information has not fully explained how he entered into that house or into that home. What we know is that he had been ordered out and he had been prohibited from approaching Sarah or going into the residence. So therefore, protection order was active when he ended her. Let's continue watching what we're watching before we continue. It's rather sad. It is rather sad. Let's watch. This is from Law crime?
Just saw there. So the Oklahoman newspaper reports that the protective order filed by the woman other than Sara is the mom of a 15-year-old girl who played basketball for Duffey because he was also a youth basketball coach. And the order alleges that another coach walked in on him, allegedly kissing and fondling that 15-year-old girl.
Can you imagine?
Also allegedly told her mom that Duffey sent her inappropriate text messages, invited her to a hotel,
Crazy.
gave her money to, quote, keep her quiet. Quote, similar conduct by this coach towards this particular juvenile player was reported to have occurred over an extended period of time in multiple law enforcement jurisdictions across multiple states prior to this incident, police told NBC News. Now, the Oklahoma newspaper also reports that Sara's filing claims that Duffey had threatened suicide, that he, quote, went on the run and had a gun. Now, police were apparently trying to find Shawn after that order was filed back in June. I also want to point out that this was not the first time that Sara had apparently filed for an order of protection against Shawn Duffey. This is from 2021, and this was where Sara requested for an order of protection, and that order was dismissed because, according to court records, that
She didn't show up.
Sara didn't show up for court, and it appears after.
This is the real me, and
this is my heir replacement. The background is real, but my heir replacement
earlier this year for a story that didn't have to do with them, but they were together. Even though there was an order of protection against Shawn, it appears that it did little to protect.
Let's watch this. Let's watch this one.
Some sort of loud bang in the background.
Less than 2 weeks after she publicly accused him of being a pedophile on her TikTok page.
An old male that we were looking for a few weeks ago after he got caught kissing a juvenile.
Here's what we know about murdered influencer Sara Gilson and the shocking claim she made about her soon-to-be killer ex-husband, Shawn Duffey. Police raced to a home in Collinsville, Oklahoma on July 23rd after receiving a grisly nighttime phone call where 911 dispatchers said they heard a woman, quote, screaming and crying before hearing a, quote, loud bang.
I'm trying to reach him back, but I could hear a female in the background screaming and crying, some sort of loud bang in the background.
When Owasso law enforcement arrived at the home, they discovered a sickening scene. A husband and wife were dead, both with apparent gunshot wounds to the head. The Owasso Police Department later confirmed to People magazine that the duo, 48-year-old Shawn Duffey and 43-year-old Sara Gilson, were killed in an apparent murder-suicide after Duffey gunned down Gilson before turning the weapon on himself.
If you're watching, please do like, share, and subscribe. All right.
Gilson, a lifestyle and beauty influencer who boasts nearly 80,000 followers on TikTok, was known for her bikini try-on hauls and shopping hacks. She even posted videos. In one of the last videos she uploaded on TikTok, Gilson posted a Netflix documentary video, a trend where users pretend they are sitting down and filming a Netflix documentary about their lives, to speak about how her soon-to-be ex-husband was a pedophile. In the 15-second clip, which has garnered more than 23 million views, Gilson can be seen sitting on a chair with a somber look, with text on screen that reads, "Preparing for when Netflix drops a documentary about my soon-to-be ex-husband, who I just found out is a pedophile." Paper, a woman filed a protective order against Duffey in June, alleging that he assaulted her daughter, a 15-year-old girl who was a member of the youth basketball team he coached. According to court documents obtained by the paper, another team's coach personally witnessed Duffey kissing and fondling the girl and immediately reported it. And according to investigators, it wasn't the only time Duffey was reportedly inappropriate with the player, which took place over an extended period of time and across multiple states and law enforcement jurisdictions. Duffey allegedly sent the minor inappropriate messages, kissed her, and touched her inappropriately, and invited her to his hotel room during a tournament, offering money to, quote, keep her quiet. Since getting caught by the coach, Duffey, a member of the Osage Indian tribe of Oklahoma, had been on the run and evading police. Gilson also filed her own protective order against her husband after the incident came to light, which forced him out of the home and required that he stay 100 yards away. Gilson alleged in her application that Duffey had threatened suicide. Gilson's first husband, Lyle Landers, told People magazine that he was always alarmed about his ex's relationship with Duffey, and quote,
it's I don't even know what to say at this point, but it's crazy. It is crazy. So fast forward from all of these details. So this is our ex, the ex before the ex. Okay, the one she had 2 children for. All right. So the record says that he had always been afraid for her because of the kind of relationship she was in with the man she was dating. So what else did I want to say? I wanted to say something. Okay, so yeah. So I just wanted to show you the father of her children, Lyle Landers. So 6 days after Sarah's passed, Lyle Landers filed a probate petition. Now, according to the filing, he made a diligent effort to find a will, but he was unsuccessful with it. That means that Sarah is currently believed to have passed without a will. Okay, because Sarah and Duffey were reportedly still legally married, Oklahoma law would ordinarily recognize Duffey as the surviving spouse if he was alive. Now, depending on how the property was acquired or the untitled, a surviving spouse could potentially receive a significant portion of the estate. And now that is what the ex, the father of the children, that is what he's fighting for. Okay, he's saying nope, nothing should go to him. So if the property legally passed from Sarah to Duffey, even for a brief period, it could theoretically enter Duffey's estate and eventually pass to his heirs or designated beneficiaries. So that is why that is what Lyle is attempting to prevent. He is asking the court to appoint him as the administrator of Sarah's estate. He also wants legal authority to protect the interest of their 2 minor children. And Lyle is also asking the court to identify Sarah's rightful heirs to prevent Duffey's beneficiary from receiving assets that originated in Sarah's estate. Now, this does not mean Duffey's beneficiaries have already demanded Sarah's money. No. There is currently no public evidence that they have filed an opposing claim. So we must not accuse unidentified beneficiary of greed or wrongdoing. So Lyle is just being proactive. Lyle is attempting to close the door before anybody can even try to argue it or open it or argue that the property first passed to Duffey and should therefore be distributed through Duffey's estate. So it's like, no, I'm not taking any chances. However, Oklahoma has what is commonly called a slayer statute. So the basic principle is simple. A person should not be allowed to end someone and then inherit that person. Now, Oklahoma law bars people convicted of certain forms of or manslaughter from inheriting their victims or receiving other financial benefits because of the passing. But this case contains a complication. Duffey is gone. He can never be prosecuted. He can never be convicted because he is gone. If we read only the word convicted, someone could argue that the statute does not automatically apply. However, an Oklahoma Supreme Court decision involving life insurance proceeds previously recognized a broader principle. It says that a criminal conviction is not always necessary because people should not profit from their own wrongful conduct. So therefore, the Sara Gilson probate court may now have to decide whether the principle prevents anything from passing through the Duffey's estate. But in my opinion, I believe nothing should go through his estate because he ended her. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. So the judge could potentially determine that Duffey should be treated as having received nothing from Sara. Absolutely nothing. That's how I want it to go, but we will see. So the court could also use an equitable remedy such as a constructive trust to ensure that any property connected to Sara goes to the appropriate heirs instead. I mean, it's just moral. The answer just is obvious, but courts still have to follow statutes. They have to follow evidence. They have to follow due process. And that is why Lyle quickly filed. He's trying to preserve the estate before assets are transferred and before Sarah's children lose the ability to challenge those that are transferred. Remember, the kids are still, they are minors. So what is this whole case all about? This case was about control. When a controlling person realizes that a woman is leaving, or they realize that she's speaking publicly, they see that she's obtaining legal protection or refusing to keep secrets, they experience that as a change, as a loss of ownership. Now, that does not excuse violence. We are just trying to recognize what it is. It helps us recognize escalation. Okay? She reportedly described the fact that he had a firearm. He was threatening to end himself. There was they had an estranged relationship. And this man fled. Serious allegations involving a child. There was a protective order in place and a pending legal investigation. Research on intimate partner homicide identifies several of those circumstances as a major warning signs. Firearms would increase the lethality of the case. Separation can increase the immediate danger. Threats of ending themselves by an abusive person can also signal danger to the woman, because anybody that wants to end themselves can decide to end you. If someone says that if you leave me, I will end myself, don't automatically interpret that as emotional pain. No, you need to see it as threats. For me, that is a threat, not even only a manipulation. It is manipulation, it is coercive control, but it is a threat on your own life. Because in certain circumstances, it can indicate possibility of homicide, followed by them ending themselves. So when you have somebody saying they are going to end themselves, that threat combined with violence, obsession, stalking, all of those things requires immediate intervention. This story should not discourage women from seeking protection orders. No. Protection orders, they matter. They do matter. They create a documented record. They bring about legal boundaries. And they can support arrest and prosecution if it is violated. Okay? You having a restriction order can affect access to the home, children, and firearms. But a protection order should be one part of a wider safety strategy. If you as a woman faces multiple high-risk warning, or let me say multiple high-risk warning sign, hey glow _ effective 21, thanks for joining the live. Thanks for joining the live on Instagram. Like I was saying, if a woman faces multiple high-risk warning signs, the response may include a whole lot. You need to find a DV advocate. There must be personalized lethality assessment. Like, you need to change your locks. You need to inform your trusted neighbors. You need to alert your children's school. You need to begin to look at phones, passwords, location sharing settings. It's a lot. You need to keep all those messages of threat, all those voicemails. And then you need to start planning your escape route. You need to start looking for how you call 911 immediately when your order is violated. And please hear me carefully. You need to put money aside as well. But I also want you to hear me carefully. None of this makes a victim responsible for preventing their own ending. Okay? Even you having a safety plan is not a guarantee. The responsibility remains with the person choosing violence. But the only thing is that safety planning can create more time, it can create more distance, it can create more witnesses, it can give you many more options. So please stop asking. Stop asking women, why don't you just leave? It's not as easy. It's easier for you to say. It's not that easy to do. So we need to begin to ask better questions. Do you feel safe going home? If the answer is no, then you know what to do. You need to begin to ask questions like, does he have a weapon in the house? Has he threatened to end you? Has he threatened to end himself? Has he threatened to end the children? Is he tracking your phone? Is he tracking your social media? Is he tracking your car? These are questions we need to be asking women who are going through these kinds of things. You need to ask them, do you need transportation? Can I keep important documents for you? Can we contact a lawyer together? Do you need somewhere he cannot locate? And one of the most important questions we need to ask is, what do you believe he will do if he realizes that you are truly leaving him? Or if he realizes that you are going to, talk about the things he has been doing. All right. So these are questions we need to ask. And for you as a woman, you don't have to confront the abuser. Even you helping the woman, you don't have to confront the abuser without the woman's consent, without having a professional safety plan. Because if you do confront that guy, that confrontation may increase her danger. What you should not do is you should not even announce her location. Don't post her movement online. Don't pressure her to take an action you are unwilling or unable to help her complete safely. Whatever support you are giving to a woman in that situation must be practical, it must be confidential, and it must be consistent. And here is one thing I want every woman to remember tonight, wherever you are watching me from. A legal boundary is strongest when it is supported by a physical, digital, financial, and community safety plan. You getting the protection order is not the end of the process at all. It's actually the beginning. It may be the moment when your protection needs to be more calculated and more coordinated. Sometimes the order confirms that the most dangerous period of the woman's life has just begun. So getting the protection order in itself, it's the start of it. Look at Sarah. She tried to protect herself. This woman went to court. She documented the danger. She obtained the temporary order. She attempted to leave this monster. She attempted that separation, but he still came back for her. She spoke out about what she believed had happened. She didn't support him. But now, her children's father is standing in another courtroom, trying to protect what remains of her life from passing through the estate of the man police says ended her. Now her family is being forced to complete legally what she was trying to accomplish physically. Sometimes, I don't even know. I'm losing words. Separating her life, her children, and her future from the person she feared. That's what her family is trying to do now. They cannot bring Sarah back. We cannot bring Sarah back. But we can refuse to reduce her to the final moment of her life. We can remember the mother. We can remember the stylist, the friend, the woman who made people laugh. We can support the children who now have to live with this trauma forever. We can use our story to take firearm access, threats, and all these kind of things, coercive control. We can use our story to take all of those things more seriously. If this conversation helped you understand DV differently, please like this video and share it with another woman. Subscribe to Yes Life Coaching, Woman Stand in Your Power, because here we do not just follow the headlines. We decode the lessons. We help women recognize their worth. We help them strengthen their voice, and we help them create their boundaries. If you need support rebuilding your confidence, finding your voice, or creating healthier boundaries, Yes Life Coaching Services is available in the description. But if you are currently experiencing DV, coaching is not a substitute for emergency or specialist DV support. There are numbers that you can call. In the US, there are numbers you can call. 800-799-SAFE. If you are in immediate danger, call 911. Oh. Please do not post your location or your personal safety in the public comment. Women, your fear deserves to be taken seriously. A threat of someone ending their lives deserves to be taken seriously. Not only because they are threatening to take their own life, that should be a threat to your life as well. Because someone who can take their own life can take yours. Okay? And when a woman says, I believe he may hurt me, we must stop waiting for visible injuries. We must stop waiting for a funeral before we understand the danger that is in it. With all that being said, I want to say, recognize your worth, strengthen your voice. Please create your boundaries. These are very important. Choose your life, choose your peace, choose your future. And no matter what you are facing, I repeat, no matter what you are facing, sis, continue to stand in your power. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. I would see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Bye. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Take what you learned, walk in your truth. Until next time, stand in your power.